purpose of this video is to show a method that I've seen no one use yet. I'm sure some people do, but I've looked all over YouTube and just watching videos of people doing this part before I tried it, and there were some ways that were just much more complicated than they should have been. I'm going to try to show you the most efficient way I have found to go and answer all the questions at virtually the same time you're preparing for all of them, not just one thing at a time. I've seen some pretty cringeworthy stuff. Hopefully this one isn't too bad. So the first thing you want to do is you want, of course, open Solidworks, get your part ready, part document started. Now you see this is for 1 through 3. Okay, so we're going to have, and the exam's going to be different. Maybe I need to do a video of the actual practice exam. I don't know if that's allowed. Probably not. But we see the features that change for number 4 and 5. So we know that we have 5 questions here for this sample exam. And this PDF provides us with the 1 through 5 changes, and here's the answer key at the bottom that we should have. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this and try to be speedy about it, at least as speedy as I can be. There's a lot of things that will go wrong and slow you down, so you have to be fast, have to be proficient. Try to practice with more parts than just this one, but if you can get very fast at this one, that is recommended, and try to do that with all others you practice with too. Make sure it's a CSWP level part that you're practicing. Try to get the one with multiple variables and feature changes. And without further ado, first thing I always do as I come in, first I want to mention I have shortcuts. L is your line shortcut. Control 8 is normally your normal 2 shortcut to look at a face normal. I've changed that to just N. Then I have a Alt. I've set Alt D to create a design table, Alt T to edit that design table, and Alt E to open up my equations. If you don't know where those are, you go to Tools, Equations. You can also go to your help bar over here. There's a Settings tab normally over here. If I move my window, it'll appear, that you can go to, and go to Customize and go to Keyboard to create all those shortcuts. Insert tables to the design table for that part. Another thing is configurations. Once you create a table, it will be in here. You will drop down the menu and right click it and go to Edit Table, not Edit Feature, which is the first selection. Edit Table. And I'm going to go ahead and move this a little bit because I want a little more room to work here. So, on with it. First thing I do, units. Always units. Go to Material, Edit Material. It's going to be, where's it at here? Alloy steel. I know that my units are in millimeters. Okay, so all that's set before I do anything else. Now, also, before I even really care about where I'm going to start or anything like that, I'm going to open up Alt E shortcut or go to Tools and Equations, and I'm going to go ahead and set all my variables, beginning with the number 1 values. And I'm just hitting Enter to go through this pretty quickly here. Oh, shoot. Always, be sure everything's going in because you do not want a typo during the exam. X is going to be A, and you got to click on it, or go down, Enter, divided by 3. Y is B. Let's go down, Enter on this one. Divided by 3 plus 10, just the way it's shown here. Now if you're in Excel, be sure to put that in parentheses if you're editing that in your design table for any reason. Right now we don't have to. So we're going to sketch, and looking at this part, it looks very simple. We're probably going to start with our base, build our way up. Yes, we are going to, because that's just the way that is probably the best. Start with a square. Go ahead, and when you do this, make sure you use the equal sign B for that value, equal sign A. We got that. Everything's defined. It's black. Okay, let's go ahead and extrude that. You could go ahead and draw everything, but because you'll be deleting a lot of features and things like that, it might be better that you just extrude things separately. N for normal 2 is my shortcut there. There's going to be a boss here. Don't forget to define everything as you go. Looks like that's going to be the same, and it's not a variable, so it's likely going to be equal. You can always go through and delete that relation later, but now you've got it defined. You want to extrude it. It's a total of 35. We're going to say it's equal to 35 minus 25, because that was the first depth there. Now we have that. I want to rename it, because if you and I do recommend this, always look ahead. What feature changes are you going to make? The boss and the counterboard aren't even there in the future. There's also this weird cut here on this cylinder, which we'll get to. But just take note, there's another cut back here. These things can be done as you go. I'm just going to call it something simple like board boss, right? And move on. So, normal 2. I'm going to always sketch L for my line shortcut. And while you got it highlighted, go ahead and hold Control, and it's going to be equal to, because they're both 80. Right. Now you're also going to be looking at putting in variable C. Try not to select that boss down there, because then variable C can end up actually dependent on that, and it'll be suppressing it when you're trying not to. And you'll have to go in there and reselect your dimension where it's from. So we're going to use a 3-point arc. You can see the crosshairs. Make it. It's going to be the same as C. So, well, first of all, let's go ahead and get that correct. Needs to be coincident. That's why it didn't look right. So then you can make this horizontal. Everything's black. Nice. Right click it. Select chain. I'm going to offset it. It's a 15 millimeter thick rib. This is going to be equal to a total of 95. Where's that at? 95 minus 25. I like to do it that way. You could do it in your head differently and whatever, but I like to see what I've entered in when I go to my design table, which I'll be doing soon. So, before you go further, you need to know also weight on your fillets and chamfers. Do not put fillet and chamfers. Don't use your sketch fillets. I know it's nice sometimes if you're doing something real simple, but you're going to be doing a lot of changes, and you don't want your features reliant on fillets and chamfers. What am I going to fillet? I'm going to fillet this because it's 15. It's different from all the others, for one. And for two, let's go back up here. This fillet on this little depressed cut here is the same as that fillet. So the reason we're doing that, we see that, okay, this matches this little border right here. We're going to use offset entities, right, to match that, because everything matches. It's 9 all the way around. Could go into changing it, like if it wasn't 9 on one side, yada yada. I think that would be more useful to use like shell and things like that. So Anyway, then you can do a multi-thickness shell. So we go ahead and add that fillet first, right? Let's go ahead and rename it. We know that that is our bore fillet. We'll have to suppress that later. So we want everything that we're going to have to suppress later named. We're going to select this and do a sketch. We can go normal too if we want to. Offset entities, reverse, and we know that it's 9 all the way around. Go ahead and go into features, extrude cut. This is going to be equal to 25 minus 5. It is a 5mm thickness. Boom. Alright. Now let's go into our fillet feature. And I needed to rename that, but I didn't. Try to rename as you go. Let's edit this because I put the wrong radius in there. Let's go ahead and name this 1 through 3 cut because it's for questions 1 through 3. And let's name this one 1 through 3 fillet. Nice, simple stuff. Okay. Normal 2. We're going to sketch. We're going to go ahead and do our cylinder. Notice there is a 10mm offset. I've seen people measure and do the 7.5. It does show that in part of the drawing here, but if you find your midpoint of that rib, that's all that design intent's finding there. It's 7.5 this way too, so you know right away it's going to be centered right there. So always equals, and this one's going to be X. You got to click it. Let's go ahead and go into features, extrude it. You could draw it all in one shebang, both your circles. I find it to be a little bit actually slower and less controllable, I guess. Maybe that's just me. Just the way I like to do it. I like to go ahead and just do. You could use that same sketch again, but I like to do it this way. So now, you can go separate sketch. There's my cool background music, like most of the videos have. So. Okay. Features, extrude cut. You could do through all. It's not really going to get in the way, but you could just do through all both. Through all is fine. And while we're there, let's go ahead and add this little feature. You probably know the one I'm talking about. You hit circle, get your center to pop up. Actually, let's go ahead and convert this into so that we can set this distance relative to its own sketch. And we're going to go into our line feature, get something we can find a point on there. Go to power trim. We have that guy. Let's extrude cut it. We have a 30 offset. We have a 30 thing here. Let's flip the offset. That looks like it's going to be correct. All right, let's name that tube cut and suppress it. Right. Another cool thing we could do. We could go ahead and let's actually. Oh, shoot. Let's go ahead and get this guy in there so we can. Don't forget that offset. And you see that I'm waiting to make any, oh shoot, flip that direction. I'm waiting to make any design tables or anything because I want everything to hopefully get in there automatically. Alright, boom, boom. Even waiting on this fillet here. I could go ahead and put it in there, but I'd rather just keep on moving. If you think of something, do it. These chamfers aren't going to change. Actually, they will. Oh, what's that? Cannot be, edges from multiple bodies cannot be chamfered in single feature. What's wrong with that? Ooh. Okay, so if you see that doing that, that just means that it did not merge for whatever reason. Maybe I clicked it on accident. Always merge your result. Boom. Okay, that takes care of that. Should always work properly. You can. You definitely can select multiple chamfers, just not on multiple features. Multiple, well, you know what I mean, multi-bodies or whatever it called it. So, did we even set that correctly? 2 and 45. So I've drawn this already today, and that's why. And this is also like practice for me. So that's why that's already in there. Chamfer's there. Let's go ahead. We know what we need to suppress here in order to change our features. Let's go ahead and change our features. Okay, so we don't really need it ready yet because we haven't created the different configurations for the different questions. But we're going to go to our bore balls, hold control, bore fillet, 1, 2, 3 cut, and fillets. We're going to take all those and suppress them. Because now, when we go to do this, it won't be dependent on any fillets on our outside. So it's a good thing I didn't do that yet. That's why you always wait. So, didn't do that yet. We're going to sketch. I'm going to use the quick offset thing again. And because we know that all our radii are the same in there, we're going to go ahead and go here and offset it as well. Right, and we're going to go ahead and trim it though. You know, even the cut depth is the same. So I haven't been doing it this way, but cut depth's same. May as well put that in the same cut as well. A lot simpler when you're going to suppress things. You have to drag this to get it to be tangent. Just part of it. Just part of it. I don't know if it'll let me see. Yep, see, it won't let you unless you drag it and get it a little more straightened up first. Alright. So let's go ahead and do that cut extrude. Both of them are the correct way. But it's going to be equal to 25 minus 5 because that's the depth. Boom, same cut. What else can we do? Well, let's rename it 4-5 cut. No need for them to be separate. There's no instances where one exists without the other in the questions. So let's go fillet as well. We got it set to 10. Here's our little quick pop-up. Select all those. Again, get right through them tubes there. Quick pop-up. Got all those. And let's rename that one 4-5 fillet. Now we know. And now another thing we can do is go ahead and add this fillet. Nope, not that one. That one. Because it's at the very end. That is a completed feature, feature-wise completed for numbers 4 and 5. So let's go ahead and suppress those. Looks like that's the only things we need to suppress to go back to our original. Oh wait, we had tube cut too, but we didn't need to unsuppress that for any reason. Now we can go here and do our hole wizard. Again, I've done it today, so I already got it selected, but what you do, of course, you know, just whatever it tells you. So counter, we got our counter bore, ANSI metric, 18, you're checking all your stuff there, M8, close, we got 15, 30, 10 entered in, and we got through all. Cool. Yeah, it would take a second to enter all that. That's why I'm kind of going a little slower, because I want to see how fast I can do this. But Here we go. Slide up, get your smart dimension. And I hope this is helping. I'm trying not to talk too much about what I'm doing as far as being too simplistic about it. Many of you already know exactly what you're doing. You just maybe you want to see a cool different way, different method of completing all this stuff at one time. So there is a completed part for 1, 2, and 3, and to check that we'll go to Mass Properties and we'll go down to our answer key. There will be at least one multiple choice question on the actual exam. There is on the sample as well. We have a very close value. It has to be within 1% for you to get that answer correct. With multiple choice, what you're looking for is, hey, I nailed one of the multiple choice answers within 1% anyway. I want to be as close as possible to it. 100th is not bad. So I'm going to accept that and I'm going to move on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a design table, which you would go to Insert, Tables, Design Table, right? Alt-D is my shortcut. I knew that, but I just wanted to show how you get there. Auto create, yes please. It's gonna really screw me up here. So I may just let it do its thing however it wants to. Alright. First thing I notice, I don't have any of my equations in here. How is this going to help, right? At least that's the first thing I noticed when I went to try and do it. And was really struggling with the correct syntax and things. So it's $value at your variable, which mine is just, as they called them, A at, yes, it is plural equations. Okay, and you're going to go through here because I don't know a better way to get those in. Please let me know in the comments if you know a better way to get your equations into your design table, or maybe you just don't even use a design table. That's fine too. Careful. Be careful. It really slows you down when you make a tiny error. So $value at C at equations at D at equations at E at E equations. Sorry, this is taking a moment. I know a lot of people would just fast forward through all this stuff, but I just want to show you that it is possible to do this very quickly and really without much effort. The most effort you'll put in, most effort you'll put in is in your dang design table, honestly. So you got all that, so it's going to import that for you, right? Well, now you can go and create all your multiple configurations for questions 2, 3, 4, 5. Click out of it. Yes, you're probably going to need some other things in there, right? Okay, it created them successfully. Thank you. That's great. Doesn't always do that for you. Here's the important thing. We see what's suppressed in 1, right? Let's go ahead and rebuild it. Everything is suppressed in 1. So what we're going to do, we know that it changes everything at 4. We're going to go through and we're going to say, no thank you. And we're going to come in here and say, yes please. And then we need to go to our chamfer as well. And this is not really that necessary. You could just click on it and add it into your design table, but you may as well go in here, make all the edits you need, and accept it, because then it's going to automatically add that to your design table When you mash, hopefully you've created a shortcut, because it's very aggravating to keep going through. But if you need to, you can go to configurations, tables, drop it down, right click, edit table. Mine is just Alt T. Very simple. Pulls it right up very quickly. Yes, please add all of that. That's great. Thank you. And what's going on here? Yeah, we want it to equal all of those. Jeez, man. For anything that's not in there, just go through and check. Obviously, it has some issues. I've got a 32-bit computer too, so it's a little bit slower with that 32-bit memory. So I'm going through. Yeah, here's my 30 champs. We may as well go ahead and change that too. Oh, look at that. So here's the power of doing it this way. I'm going to go ahead and drag this over here if it'll allow me. Here's the power in doing it this way. We know what number 1 is, right? We entered those in as we did it. So here's the power. Go in, 225. What's B? 210. C? 176, please. D is 137. Okay. And you can just go in and enter all these. Now I'm on number 3 already. Okay. No need to go into your. The other ways were so much more complicated that I was trying to go into equations each time, and it was just, then you lose all your data and you can't go through and check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I didn't like that, so this way was my favorite. I've done this part several times, just because I'm extra, just extra. Let's just leave it at that. So we also notice that our B changes here. Be careful of all the little, if you don't know how to do that in Excel, you need to learn it. All you do is, you saw what I did there. So go up here and you want that little thing to pop up. To open that cell up, you double click it and it extends that cell for you. Hopefully you know that already. And on to number 5. Already? Yes, already. 229. I just love it. This is I'll probably use this for the rest of my days. Is how much I like this method. Now that I've gotten used to it. It does take, you got to work out some kinks. Design table is very challenging at times, but this is the best way I have found, and that's why I wanted to share it with everybody. You can see where I went through and changed everything for, here's my all my names here. Here's my counter board. Everything was added automatically because I waited, and when I went and edited it noticed, hey, you changed this. Why is that? You know, so right away you see that these are automatically unsuppressed, right? Anything that says suppressed is suppressed. We get it. So what do we want to do? We want to make 4 and 5 the same, and make sure that 1 and 2 are also, or 2 and 3 are also the same as 1. So let's go back to caps here, because we're going to go through here and make everything identical. This is going to be unsuppressed at just as 4 is. Suppressed just as 4 is. Just as 4 is again here. And this is unsuppressed, I believe. Wouldn't let me go far enough. Alright, and I think I'm probably missing something, but it should be that easy. Now there's usually going to be something break, but let's see what happens. It's going to auto create all those. I'd love to see this video at least under 40. Don't break on me. Come on, computer. It's probably going to generate a crash report, looks like. Again, if you got a 64-bit, you don't have to worry about these things. This is the first time it's done it to me, honestly, and it's probably because I've been drawing all kinds of things today. Come on. Come on. There you are. There you are. Awesome. Just wait and let it do its thing, right? Let it think. Let it think. Alright. Cool. Look, it's automatically, we're on 4 here. Let's check and see if 5 updated correctly. Looks like it did. I saw some changes there. You should always see it move some, right? If it's working, it should move some. Yeah, rebuild it, of course. Okay. What about 2? Does it need rebuilt? Oh, you're not going to ask me. Okay. Everything looks like it's going good, right? 3. Well, may as well, let's not afraid to be wrong. Let's go see about our mass properties. Let's start with number 1, right? Make sure that's still in order. Within 1%, and this is a little configuration toolbar you can add over here. You'll find it if you go looking. It's very helpful, I think. I'm glad I put it there. Ooh, what's wrong? I'm off a little. I'm off a little, and where would that be? Chamfers are there. That's odd. Maybe it's a typo. Right. B, we got that A, 25. What is that? Oh, that's what it for some reason, I don't know why it decided to jump on me like that, but look what it did here. When I went through trying to fix everything, it incremented up by 1 each time. So things like that, be planning on it. They're going to slow you down. Tiny stuff. Oh, I don't know if that was the only error. Let's see what the mass properties has to say about it. Come on, rebuild, baby. You got this. I think the computer needs a break. Let it do its thing. Shouldn't have clicked mass properties yet. I don't know, I was trying to hurry and yeah, I'm gonna let this baby cool before I take on any exams with it, that's for sure. Oh, nailed it. Cool. Now I can go 3. Maybe that was the only error. Nailed it. Let's go to 4. That's where things change up, right? Nailed it. Very happy to see that I'm thinking number 5 is right as well. Within 1%, right? That's all you gotta hit. Thank you very much. I hope this video helped somebody out there. And if you want to, you can like and subscribe to my channel. Really, comments are more appreciated than anything. So just feel free to let me know if you've done it a different way, or you know, any of your thoughts and comments are welcome there. And thank you very much. Good luck.